Walt?
Joe, we've been hearing from a lot of people that they're interested in this new thing.
Artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence, or as so many people call it, AI.
Oh, yeah.
Now, personally, I feel like any intelligence is good intelligence, but where do you want to take us on this?
I don't know, man. I do know. Man.
All right. Well, let's hear it. What's your thought?
I think what we'll do is kind of go. This episode is going to be AI good.
AI can be good.
Exactly, and that's kind of what we'll explore today. Don't throw tomatoes at us.
People are
we'll get to the bad. So in the next episode we'll do bad.
There's a lot of people that don't want good things to be good.
It's very complicated, Walt.
All right. Well, let's talk about how AI could be good for creative people, good for artists, good for makers,
good for humanity.
That's going a bit far, but we'll start with artists and makers.
All right. So kind of the thing is like, I mean, you can we're going to cover a few topics. So the first one is it empowers the individual creator. Without
question. I mean, artists have operated alone. Usually it's
we don't need to get into it. I'm going to go over that one.
Okay. Give us the whole outline then. Let's hear it. What else are we going to cover?
We're going to talk about as a tool to improve your work.
Could be.
Right? 3, the commercial realities.
Painful, but
yeah,
we're there.
And number 4, we're going to talk about how it increases the appreciation of real work.
Possibly among cognoscente people that know what art is and what art is not.
And then finally, what are the things that AI can't replace? Right?
Mom.
An apple pie.
And some other things that are art.
Yeah. So anyway, starting with, and so it's basically, there's been this Pandora's box.
How appropriate.
That's just been opened up, and it's just, I mean, I am sick of watching AI videos on YouTube.
Nobody expected
Not AI-produced videos about AI.
About AI, discussing AI, the implications of AI. AI is going to do this, AI is going to do that. I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to get a new job.
And scummy weasels using AI to tell you how you can rip off other content creators. It's just a cistern of...
But that's humanity.
It is humanity. Well, that's a very good point, because the thing is, it's like, yes, AI is bad, maybe.
Oh,
but but the thing is,
people are bad.
People are bad. Exactly.
Spankings.
Exactly.
Spankings
so the thing
all
is, AI is another tool, another technology, and it's just in the hands of the wrong people, right?
Well, okay, so we have to admit that AI is a new technology.
Yes.
And, you just step back and people said, the typewriter was bad, the camera was bad, motion pictures were bad.
Well, word processing was bad because then it put typists out of business.
Television's bad. Everyone's brain is going to rot when they
The film industry was going to get ruined.
Television. Digital recording was bad because it wasn't analog anymore.
Right.
I mean, every new technology freaks people out.
Yeah, and every new technology displaces some people, creates new opportunities for others.
Depending upon whether you're flexible or whether you're very attached to your paycheck and past history.
And you're not old.
Well, young people don't like AI
No,
either.
Young people don't like AI, and so, it's really kind of interesting. Well, and why do they not like AI? There's this new generation of people just graduated from college, just blew either a bunch of their money, which now they're in debt, or they blew a bunch of their parents' money, and now they're looking at son of a bitch.
The thing is, for especially for young people, if you're 18 or 20 and you don't have much world or life experience, you're already trying to figure out, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? How am I going to spend my time?
Right.
And this thing comes along that seems like it might displace your best efforts to learn how to write or paint or draw or do anything. So
or create.
That's threatening. Yeah. But even it's always been hard to be a young person and learn how to do anything.
Oh,
and just the fact that this other thing is thrown into the competitive mix shouldn't make you go, life is unfair. Because, Joe, as we know, life is
unfair.
It's just going to be unfair. It's,
it's a big can of crap.
You can cry all you want, or you can figure out how to play the unfair game that life is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and that's what's being thrown in their faces. It's just like, hey, just, just pull it up by the bootstraps and just make it happen for yourselves, and of course, it's like, hey, screw you, boomer, So.
Yeah, well, and we will acknowledge that Joe and I are both very older gentlemen scholars who are very near death.
We're the Jones generation.
Yeah, we
weren't really boomers, or really not Gen X.
No, we call ourselves the last hurrah, but anyway, so that's point one.
But that's kind of like the lay of the land.
Lay of the land, yes.
But really, now we're going to talk. I mean, okay, I use AI.
I use it too.
Yeah, we both use AI. We use AI to produce this little video thing we do.
But we're guys that love any tool. Almost. Any new tool.
Yeah. Any new tool. So, and the other thing too is, I mean, personally, it's like, okay, I'm actually perfectly fine if it just goes away. Right?
Not only that, I'm fine if it doesn't work that well.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine if it only...
Actually, we love things that don't work very well.
Right. I mean, I've got a sander at home that has a bad belt that flies off every time I try and sand anything.
That I'm not a fan.
Okay. Today, it's sort of a funny thing that people on the one hand, people expect things to work. They put their key in their car or their button, and they expect the car to start.
Yes.
And sometimes if the car...
Not anymore.
Well, sometimes...
That's a whole nother story.
Whatever the device is, your phone, you expect it to turn on when you hit a button. And when things don't quite work, it's kind of the history of the human race. So you got to figure out how to make the best of it.
Oh, saying, doing research for this and things like that too, I came upon glitch art.
Glitch art.
Right? It's never really, I don't think it ever went anywhere, but it was this idea, it's just like, oh, people are generating these images and the technology's not working. It's, and it's like fun, weird bands of color. But people find that beautiful. Right? They say, that's cool.
There is a thread in art, and I would just say not just art, but in the making of anything, where an accident can be a huge plus.
It's almost a platitude.
Yeah, Tom Edison, light bulb, tungsten filament. Oops.
Oh, how many artists figured out a thing because of an accident? It's just like
spilled paint, something dried or cracked, and suddenly it was like, that's not a problem. That's a victory.
Yeah, but anyway, Walt. So what I find is when I'm doing things is that it does empower the individual creator. So, for instance,
in many ways.
So the thing we're doing with this video thing. I mean, look, it wouldn't happen if I didn't have AI. I mean, it would be you and me sitting in front of in a room, going like blah 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 blah, and it'd just be boring as hell.
Here's my take. The worst case scenario is the AI technology, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini or Anthropic or Manus or whatever you're using. Suddenly, this new technology, any artist has at their disposal the world's best librarian with complete library knowledge of all this stuff.
Right. But you said a very important thing.
What's that?
Every artist.
Yeah.
Because aesthetic sensibility, understanding of media, and having done those sorts of things that made you an artist, you're much better off with AI.
You are.
Because you know how it's supposed to work. You know how it's supposed to look, right?
Well, not only that. I mean, I remember when I was, let's say, 20, which would be 1980, and I was interested in an artist, I had to go to, the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts and go into the library and talk to the librarian and get a book out and get these volumes. And it was this long process to, get anything.
That's right. No, I remember you'd have to go to the university library in town, because they had the most stuff, and even then, you probably didn't find what you're looking for.
Yeah, like the Getty in LA, or the Getty, it's museum. fantastic. They have an amazing library.
Right.
You have to, I think, still apply for a researcher card.
Yeah, researcher's card.
And then you can go there, and they've got every art book you could ever imagine. And you have to, ask the librarian to go get it and pull it out, and then you can look at it for a bit.
So it was very actually, and I remember I did this on my entire 20s and 30s, whatever. As a kid, it's like you had to get information. It was pretty difficult. You couldn't, there was no even an internet, right?
Hey, how about this? Let's say, as an artist maker person, I'm sitting there. I got my dog on the floor. I'm thinking, well, I can make some dog art. So much dog art. And then I'm thinking, hey, wait, maybe I can make some kind of an art, like a balloon dog, like those clown guys make. They make the balloon dogs.
With Jeff Koons?
Well, that's my point. I could very quickly ask the AI, has anybody done any balloon dog art? It's going to tell me all about that. I don't have to stumble down the dark.
That's right. You can sit there and go, forget it.
Yeah, or you can say, okay, Jeff Koons did it that way. I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
But informed, not in the dark, not like oops, you're going to be informed.
Yeah, because you could actually without that sort of research, and you could do before the AI. You could go to.
You could ask a librarian.
It wasn't like it was an impossible thing to do, but it just makes it much more efficient. And then you could actually tell the AI is like, oh, how can I put another spin on this? And it'll sit there and tell you possibilities, which is kind of interesting. But the one thing, and so
before we leave this point, I will say that there has been a certain critique of artists, and this kind of picks up from the time of Andy Warhol through like art and art criticism, where there's been sort of the question or the idea that artists are a little bit dumb or a little stupid, or like okay, you're not going to be a neuroscientist or a lawyer, or you're going to be you're an artist. Well, if you're going to be an artist, are you going to be a smart artist, or are you going to be an intuitive artist, or are you going to be an empathic, but if you're going to be an artist who's going to show your work in museums and art forum, then there's this whole world of criticism and thought, and you can't be too dumb and engage in that, and the AI can help you be more informed.
Yeah, and my anecdote when I was explaining, like for months now, is I tell people, it's like, look, I know some stuff, right?
You do, actually.
But I'm not like an expert in art history. I'm not an expert in a number of fields. And when you go to the AI, it kind of is. Right.
Well, not only that, and if you just thought the AI, what is it? It's your studio assistant, who's got a PhD in art history
in numerous fields.
Yeah, I mean that is enabling, not disabling.
It is enabling, and so what I find is like it gives me much more perspective on what I'm trying to do, and it gives me other avenues and things like that. So I mean, I'm in control of what I want to do, and I have a good idea of what I want to do. And I have a creative direction of what I want to do. But now it's like, am I forgetting anything?
Exactly. Yeah. And you could do that with another artist or person. You could ask me.
Yes, right.
But
which I do often.
But the AI is available at midnight, and the AI is not going to be judgmental.
You want to answer my call at midnight?
And
did you go to bed at 9?
8:30 is not a really.
It's the cutoff.
There's a point where it becomes intrusive, but in any case, it's like, it's always available. Yeah, and I also think, it's pretty neutral.
Yeah.
It's not going to say.
It honestly doesn't know shit.
Well, but it's.
It knows patterns.
The worst thing about it is, I would say, it can be a little bit. There are guardrails. Racist, sexist.
Children.
If I said, I want to do a painting of a, naked black man in a sexual pose, it might be like, wait a minute.
Nah.
The
porn sites have their own local AI databases.
It gets some kind of. What's our next?
But back to what I was saying about the fact that it's, it kind of, you still need those creative sensibilities, and I think you still need to develop yourself creatively.
Absolutely.
But what happens is I think it's a phenomenon where it's like everyone becomes an art director.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. You get to try to direct. I mean, and having been a professional art director at various ad agencies, and you do get to say, oh, I'd like to see this. I'd like it to be, give me a, hey, do it in the style of this, and this is the color, set. You can do all that. See, everybody does get to be an art director, but the thing that the AI does not have is human taste.
That's right. It doesn't have human taste.
Taste and sensibility. And different art directors have different taste and sensibilities, which is why some people had a huge career and other people, they were a little too off or, too...
Yeah.
And the most successful, not exactly an art director, but I'll reference David Carson, who was mostly a graphic designer and a photographer. And he came up with these crazy graphic designs about the time of like the rise of Wired magazine. Well, he came up with a whole aesthetic that was his, that was kind of fractured, and that was his taste.
Right.
And I don't think you could, right now, you could tell an AI, hey, give me a poster design in the style of David Carson, but it doesn't really know what that is. It's like your taste, his taste, David Carson's taste was a self-constructed thing that he developed over years.
Right.
So it doesn't have that. It's too generic.
No, but you could put in the, like I've done this, a couple years ago, a year and a half ago or so, I was like, okay, I'm going to take the images of an artist friend of mine, right? Put them into Midjourney's style creator, right? And because my thing was like, I wonder if I could make like art that looks like his. And so I went on Instagram, pulled about 24 images down, put them in there, and then said, hey, create that work in the style of this artist, right? And it did, And then I wasn't trying to steal from him. I showed it to him. I go, hey, look at this thing, because I was kind of saying, hey, you should check this AI thing out. And so it was kind of interesting. It was fun, it was kind of interesting. Now, the one thing I will say about AI working with it, when I first, this is like almost 3 years ago, a friend of mine who's involved in the experimental music scene was kind of he was using Midjourney back when you had to use it in Discord, and he was generating like these fantastical instruments and things like that, images,
right.
And he was just hooked. He was like addicted to it, and I was like, okay, but then I kind of, as I was starting to use it more, I realized it's like a slot machine.
It's a bit like, but it has the same. If for anyone that's done a lot of work in Midjourney or some of these other image generation tools like Stable Diffusion or Comfy UI, part of the magic is it is slot machine like, where you tell it to make a thing,
right? It
makes a thing, and ka-chink, this thing comes out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you win, sometimes you
win,
lose.
Sometimes you lose. But you're always like, it's like a little present every time.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise.
Right.
Which we always tell people, it's like with their work, it's surprise us.
Please. It's
right?
It's a human it's a human emotional reaction.
And so it's a complete dopamine thing. It's blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's probably, but it's like, it's fun. And it's just like, and so even working on the background images for this video before we shot, it's just like, I'm like it's like, I give a description, what's going to happen.
But you've also raised for me the double-edged sword, which is when you said, oh, I've made some work spinning off my friend, right?
Right.
So, and this is what is like such a tremendous fear. All these artists think,
right.
Oh, it's going to scrape my work.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that next episode.
In the next episode?
Yes.
Not in this one?
No, but this is about sort of the positive aspects of AI. We're going to get into the really dirty, nasty things about AI.
Oh my God, that's going to be like...
We're not... Don't start hating us yet.
It's going to be like running through the sewer in a...
It's going to be running through the sewer. But so I just wanted to... In this episode, relating how we kind of use it and how we find value in it. And I mean, there are commercial realities if you're producing work. And one of the things about this AI stuff is it's fast. It's cheap, right? It's more flexible.
You can absolutely do some idea generation and some error correction and some backstopping, and you can do,
and look,
that's valuable.
And look, what's a lot of, when you do a lot of this stuff, it's like people, they go to stock photo libraries, right?
Yeah.
To download this stuff and say, okay, I go to which one, or whatever. And it's like, but and then you had to look through this stuff, and it's all crap, and it's like, and so you get this generic looking stuff, which is what they're trying to make anyway. But now you can kind of guide it and say, no, yeah, I want it in that thing like that, but now I want a flying saucer in the background.
Right, and you could have gotten that
which you never could get.
Well, I mean, you could have gotten something, like in the old days, you could have gone to Getty stock.
Right.
And you could have gotten a picture of the sky, and you could have gone into Photoshop, and you could have gotten a picture of a flying saucer, and you could have composited them together.
In Photoshop, yeah, absolutely.
In Photoshop, and then you would have made it.
Yeah.
Instead, in Midjourney, you just type in, I need a flying, and you get it. And,
well, in Midjourney, maybe you'll get it.
Well, you'll get something
Gemini,
like that.
Gemini, you'll get it. In Midjourney, maybe.
So, is it really, I mean, I don't know any artist or art director that would say, Photoshop is a crime.
Yeah, Photoshop's a crime, exactly.
No,
exactly. And then, so that's kind of the thing. And I mean, so anyway, but the other thing too, I find it's like, we're like doing these videos too, it's just like, okay, attributions and licensing and it's like, well, I generate the image.
Yes.
It makes your life much simpler. So whether that's right or wrong, okay.
Well, and we'll get into this more in the next episode,
right.
But, people are concerned with their work being scraped and used by AI.
Absolutely.
But in a way, Getty licensing all these images is some sort of like giant commercial whorehouse.
Exactly.
Too.
And I'm sure the photographer doesn't get hardly anything from it.
Right. Yeah. It's not like, the artists aren't making $1 at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the giant organization.
Exactly. So this,
and everyone else is getting shafted
one evil
hard.
replacing another one,
One evil replacing another.
Anyway, Walt, so, those are kind of some, I don't know, aspects of the positive impact of AI. I mean,
it's only getting more positive, I think.
I don't know, man. There's a lot, but we'll talk about that next time.
But I think the thing is, like,
I'm not so sure.
I know many artists that are upset and hate AI, and they think they've lost their job, whatever. I would tell anybody to step back and think about, a few things. And one would be, would you like the world's most powerful librarian at your side?
Right. And
number two, how do you feel about new tools?
Right.
Do you reject new tools? And then, do you want to check out, or do you want to be in step with contemporary culture? Yeah,
and for me, I mean, a lot of this too is, I'm not sure how it's going to all play out, but what I don't want to do is not experience it. I mean, we've lived through
many techs,
many technologies. I mean, when we were little kids, there wasn't any, but there was very little technology. I mean,
the most advanced. When I was a little kid, there was if you had a Nikon 35mm camera, that was high tech,
and it was cool.
If you had a 8mm film camera, that was high tech.
Cool, yeah.
If you wanted to record, you had to have a reel-to-reel recorder. A Nagra was a $5,000 reel-to-reel recorder.
Yeah, they're expensive, right?
And real thing. I mean, things like actual film, like almost no one could afford to shoot 16 or 35mm film, and now you can get that on your iPhone.
To get a process, it costs a fortune.
It was all.
Yeah.
But so now there is, like, we can say, but this is democratizing, and I mean, it is putting power in the hands of the artist and the maker, and you can choose to accept the power or cry boo hoo hoo.
Okay, there you go. Well, yeah, you know what?
Boo hoo
hoo hoo.